which is same as last time. Double Des Moines, Venezia, Moskva, Stalin. So they have swapped one of the Stalins for a Moskva, and still running the Summers Daring. So not too much different there, just that Moskva-Stalin transition. And you ready for QQ7?
Yes, sir, I am. Yes, sir, I do. So coming in from QQ7 here, I think it's a little bit of a difference. We got a Kremlin now instead of the Ohio that they were bringing in before. Or sorry, the Thunderer. So they swapped out the Kremlin for a Thunderer. So the Thunderer for a Kremlin. I'm good at this, I promise. But we've also got a pair of Woosters. This is really interesting. They clearly are expecting those Stalingrads of 5D2, or at least that Stalingrad and maybe the Moskva, to be sitting at those normal points, which you can see my cursor now. It's going to be right here at the F3 and the C5 positions that basically lock down a cap. But the nice thing about a Wooster, especially, and I'm going to call it right now, these are going to be spotter plane Woosters. They're capable of basically burning down. I'm calling it. I'm gonna call it. It's gonna be spotter plane Woosters. So as we see, yeah, go ahead.
One thing I have to ask is the Woosters. Maybe you're right with the spotter plane stuff, because these guys are driving off into the middle of nowhere, and their Summers is going to be. They're not going to hide in the Daring smoke. So,
nope.
Are these open water Woosters?
No, I think they're going to go to these islands right down here, right at basically J. I guess you'd call them JI34. Those islands that are south of A. I don't know if they have the range. I think they have the range without spotter plane to hit whatever. Ooh, it looks like it's going to be a Des Moines that sits here north of A for 5D2. But basically, they're there to push out anything that tries to anchor that island and deny A to QQ7. From the north side of QQ7, though, we've got a Petro, a Salem, and the Yamato, with the Moskva taking a really aggressive early position. I don't know if this is going to work out for him. That's very, very interesting. Moskva here in F7 right now of Classic 1017. I guess he's gonna try and take the inside of this island at E7. Very ballsy. I'm interested to see if it works out.
Looks like that early smoke from Gibbon is just to protect the Moskva as he's moving into what seems to be a super aggressive position. I don't know if he's going to be claiming the north side of the E7, or sorry, east side of the E7 rock? Is he going to claim the south side of the E7 rock?
He's turning in.
Technically, if he took the south side and he's just nose into everything down that's over at the A side, they'd have radar coverage and potentially challenge B. But the Summers is already bugging out, so maybe the Moskva himself is going to contest B.
I have not seen this play before. I really like the Summers smoking up so the Moskva can get in position. We'll see basically now if 5D2 has anything to use to pressure that Moskva, or whether he just gets to sit there. Can he actually? He can actually get in and start capping B while being safe from the Yamato and the Stalingrad at the north. This is very exciting, interesting play coming in from QQ7.
Oh, that is so nutty.
Oh,
if he's able to pop his radar, he can chew into that Summers.
Oh, dear. Oh, the daring single-firing torpedoes at the Des Moines of World War II junkie in the corner, and he is already popping his first heal to bring him maybe back up to 10k health. That is huge coming in from Wonder Cube's daring. The daring so strong at that location because it can, in fact, dump single-fire torpedoes. Wow!
Wow. And now if he wasn't feeling upset enough about that, he's got two Woosters that have eyes only for the World War II junkie. Oh my goodness. QQ7 definitely taking some crazy early stuff in the map with that beautiful Moskva positioning. Hasn't started contesting Bravo yet, but then also with the pencil torps running through with World War Junkie driving him back. We have a Des Moines Moskva on that one line that can provide some radar pressure for Wonder Cube, but my God, is World War II long for this world? Is even shots coming across from the Yamato, clip right through that little valley in the island, and down he goes. So up in the North Sea, up at the north at sea, we have a bit of a staring contest, although more people leaning toward QQ7 with the Summers that transitioned up from B. And down at A, we've already lost one ship. So it's QQ7 with 4 against 5, technically, as 5D's Summers is still hovering around that Bravo area. It could attempt to rotate and chunk some torps.
Yep. So the Moskva of Classic 107, 1017. Classic. Your name's Classic now. Get a real name. The Moskva of Classic. Now finally starting to nose into B to try and contest it and stop that point bleed. The Sommers obviously not able to contest him too much, as here comes the HE shells from the Moskva. Very, very powerful against destroyers, as it has a much faster fire rate than the Stalingrad does for its HE. The Sommers of Gibbon from QQ7 now contesting C. He's trying to take it. I think he's being radared, though, by Penguin with a Hugi. I don't know if it's supposed to be Hoagie. Venezia taking some big damage from the Petro and the Salem, though. I really think that QQ7 has taken a commanding presence with these aggressive plays, but A falling to 5d2. Very interesting as the daring of Longboarder comes in, snags it, even though, yes, the daring of Wonder Cube is also still contesting it. Does not look like spotter plane boosters yet. I'm waiting for those planes to come up, but really exciting seeing these boosters being utilized to such a great extent.
So pressure is the name of just every. He's actually forced back from Bravo with, I assume, torp pressure out of Maverick, but his ability to contest is huge. The Summers' ability coming through with the take on C, huge. Petra taking positions on 10, trying to cause crossfire. If that Stalingrad of Penguin with a Hugi tries to push in and maybe contest C, because there's no destroyer up there, so somebody's got to contest. Who's it going to be? Might be the Stalin showing broadside to those folks over on the 10 line. Down in A, both Darings kind of staring at each other, and because they brought Woosters, which may have spotting planes that we haven't seen just yet, but the Woosters with the 9-kilometer radar, not long enough to deal with Longboarder, as he's able to continue paddling around contesting the cap as long as he chooses to, with those Woosters being stuck there. Moskva, unfortunately, as much as this looked like the position to be, Classic is now down to half health and not contesting Bravo. Gibbon is looking maybe to do something. Oof.
Yep. Venezia of Captain Planet going down up here in C to the combined fire of the Petro and the Salem, and possibly the Yamato throwing shots across the map at him. Very, very sad to see that, as the Venezia is a flanking cruiser with the ability to disappear. Now, watch this. The Salem and the Petro of Feva G and Triarch now moving aggressively up. Oh, getting shots on the Stalingrad of Penguin with a Hugi, who I guess he just pushed out too far, but he's just showing his broadside to a Salem. That's just such a mistake. It's hard to see.
Well, they don't have a DD. Who's going to contest? The Yamato? The Yamato hasn't moved up, so the only one who can is the Stalin, and sure enough, when he poked in to contest, he got chopped right in half by the Salem Petro. That's a pretty dominant position, with Triarch and Feva moving to bracket the island, although the Salem does look like he's going the same side as the Petro. While they hold C, the Stalin is stuck, and those two folks are moving in for the kill.
Will
I don't see them getting any help.
Will Guest of Hades smack this Salem? Yes, but not enough. Guest of Hades obviously now has a nose-on Salem trying to contest him, as Penguin with a Hugi is pushing up to avoid the Petropavlovsk of Feva G. The question here is, will Penguin with a Hugi show his broadside to this Salem and get punished for it? Also going to have to show his broadside to Master Chief's Yamato. Oh, American Cruiser AP is just so boss. Oh, getting just absolutely slapped. And down goes Penguin with a Hugi. That's 3 ships to 0 for 5d2 lost compared to QQ7. I don't know if that Moskva in the center was the decisive factor, but for sure the Daring's torpedoes, the pencil torps, like you said, on A, meant that 5d2 is basically having to apply extra resources to keep A, as these Woosters showing their strength with their DPM, as the the Daring of Longboarder gets radared or seen. I'm not sure which one, but somehow he's been spotted and he's getting focused by a Daring and 2 Woosters, and down he goes.
Yeah, the Longboarder's Daring did move up close enough, trying to maybe make a play on the Kremlin, just try to dislodge something. I believe he got manually spotted by Wonder Cube, who was contesting the cap, only to then be radared by the Woosters in the south and just barraged down. Yes, Classic's QQ7's Classic over in B, unable to really contest probably as much as he wanted to. Maybe they didn't expect the DD to be hanging around so long, but Maverick, with the constant torque pressure, has made him jump in, jump out, jump up, jump around, whatever. Gibbon able to come in and actually secure that cap. once again, QQ's mobile Broforce 5 or whatever, the Salem
Broforce
Petro
5.
combo has been able to slip around some islands, maneuver themselves into some shots, and really just start laying the smack down especially with that long range pressure from Yamato of Master Chief.
Yeah.
I think he was the one that finished the Venezia. I think he was the one that finished the Stalin. And I think he's the one that won the side.
Certainly.
But definitely the Petra Salem claiming victory over at the Sea Cap.
But you're absolutely right. Broforce 5 over here, copyright. The Salem Matriarch and the Petropavlovsk of Feva G, obviously both of them providing enormous pressure as the Yamato of Guest Hades coming under fire from the Yamato of Master Chief, and boom, there's about 12k to Guest of Hades as he's just now trying to make some use of his remaining 30k HP. But yeah, it mentioned, it happened before, but we missed it, was the Moskva of Classic finally going down in the B cap to the Sommers of Maverick, although that Sommers dumped rack after rack after rack at that Moskva. I almost wanted to see, once it was clear that that Moskva was going to sit in B so aggressively, I almost wanted to see the Sommers and the Daring of 5D2 swap places, have the Sommers go to A, and then have the Daring come in and pencil torp that Moskva, because I think it would have been a more effective way of dislodging him. As the Sommers of Gibbon and the Sommers of Maverick now getting into a gunfight here in B. We'll see how that works out.
Gibbon immediately popping smoke, not looking to take the extended exchange. He's already down to 12k health and slowly wittering the Sommers of Maverick down to 12-7. But not actually stopping in the smoke. Maybe he's just looking to take that fight, take the continuance, and now he's using smoke to his advantage. So some blind about swapping the Daring and the Sommers with the pencil torp action? That could have been an amazing play. Sommers, unfortunately, while it does have the 3 racks of torps, instead of shooting 5, it only shoots 4, but it's got a cone as though it shoots 5. Meaning there's so much inaccuracy as to where those torps get placed that trying to shoot a Bowen Moskva, which is really a slim target, you just can't guarantee those torps are going to go where you want them to go. Eventually, the Sommers moved in so aggressively toward, I think it was F4, F5, that he was able to really catch a line on the Moskva that took him down. But it did take him, as you said, rack after rack after rack. Meanwhile, QQ7 was able to secure C, secure B, and now, with the death of the Daring in the South, secure even A. 3 caps to 0, up about 400 points. Now a little more. It looks like QQ7 has secured this match in a pretty dominant fashion. And once again, the Petro-Salem combo in the north, really making moves to make plays to influence the rest of the map.
Absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead and say that very likely looking like QQ7 taking this match and this series. Congratulations to them, barring an active RNGs this year. I gotta say that I like the the Moskva move up into the aggressive point of B. Very nice coordination using that Sommers to smoke him into that position. I don't know how much of an effect it had overall, as we weren't seeing a whole lot of crossfire from that Moskva onto the ships in A, which is normally what you would sort of expect from a dominant position like that. Still, I have to confess, I think I was wrong. This does not look like it was a, what are we saying, a spotter plane Wooster. Does not look like a spotter plane Wooster, but they were firing upwards of 16 something kilometers, so obviously a range mod. Congrats.